going on, everybody? Thank you so much for coming back to another video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about Undercover Brother. So as I'm sure you can tell from the title and the thumbnail, I am joined by the man, the myth, the legend behind the channel BLACKTASTIC News. Super happy to have him on this video. Easily one of the most committed YouTube creators that I've met here on YouTube. He's just constantly shelling out content, movie reviews, documentaries, short films, as well as all kinds of films that celebrate Black culture. And he's just a really cool guy. I love his commitment. I love how well spoken he is. And I highly recommend you guys check out his channel. So we're going to hear from him in a second about Undercover Brother, but let's get into my thoughts on this movie. So growing up, this was easily one of my favorite comedies. And I tend not to do too many comedies on this channel, and a big reason for that is because comedy is so subjective. A lot of times you can go see a movie like 1917, and that movie may bore some people, but for the most part, the people who are watching my channels who are film enthusiasts, for the most part will watch that movie and think, well, that's, very well put together film. You can see all the arts and craft that go into it. But then a lot of times when it comes to comedy, you either have to be into the humor or you're not going to be into the humor. So when it comes to this film, this is one that I know won't work for everybody, but it's a film that makes me laugh every single time that I watch it. It's not mind-blowing on a narrative perspective, but it's a film that just gives me a smile each and every single time that I watch it. I recently just got it on Blu-ray for the first time in years. Hadn't seen it in probably about a good, I'd say like 5 or 6 years, and going back to rewatch it, it was exactly what I remembered, and it is just as good as I remembered. So if you have never heard of or seen Undercover Brother, this film stars people like Dee Williams, Dave Chappelle, Denise Richards, and Eddie Griffin as the titular role, Undercover Brother, and it's about a guy named Undercover Brother. He's essentially like a Robin Hood in the Black community. He's going out there doing all these secret spy missions. He's definitely influenced by Bruce Lee and a lot of other martial artists as far as how he fights, and he's just a really smooth talking fly character with a lot of style. He has this big afro and these pork chop sideburns, and he's just a really funny character. I love the way Eddie Griffin plays this character. Literally one of my favorite comedy characters in all of movie history. He literally gives me a smile every single time that I watch this movie. The laughter that I have watching him portray this role is so funny because it's so over the top, but it's so genuine at the same time. He understood what the character was. Everybody in this film understands what their characters are and what this movie is, and they just have fun with it. Something that upsets me about this movie is the fact that it can never be made today, and that's kind of a bummer. We're in this kind of like, dangerous place. Everybody's a little touchy when it comes to these subjects. It's a movie that has a lot of heavy-handed social commentary, but it does it in such a fun and lighthearted way that I have so much fun with it every single time that I watch it. So the basic premise is you have this guy named Undercover Brother who's out here doing all these missions and doing these things out on his own. Eventually he ends up running into another secret organization called the Brotherhood, and I would say that this movie for me is kind of like Austin Powers, in the sense that you have this big organization that's gonna recruit this guy or have this one guy to be the main new spy or the main person on their team, and then in the midst of that you have this enemy team that's very similar to Dr. Evil and their squad, very over the top. They do the big over the top laughs. They're supposed to be the big over the top menacing villain. It feels like a big spoof. It's a big parody of those kinds of films and of spy films on an overall, just mixed in with a lot of soul and just the Black culture part of it, and I really love that. I haven't done a review for Austin Powers on this channel, but it's easily one of my favorite film franchises of all time. I love that kind of slapstick, just ridiculous, over-the-top humor, and Undercover Brother is no different. So after Undercover Brother runs into this other group called the Brotherhood, they're essentially like a super spy organization of Black people, except for one guy that's their intern, which is Neil Patrick Harris, which I love. And yeah, they end up recruiting Undercover Brother in this hilarious way, and he joins them on their mission to destroy the man.
Is that damn Undercover Brother?
You in trouble now.
Where the hell have you been? Hey, let me tell you something. This is a job, not some kind of damn summer camp, and I'm tired of you disrespecting me. Give me one good reason why I shouldn't fire your sorry ass.
Because I don't work for you?
Shut up!
And I love it because the whole idea is they want to take down the man, the white man, but it's just a white dude in a suit. Like, you can't even see his face. He's like got a silhouette kind of like look to him. And yeah, this is the basic premise of this film, right? Is you have the man, you have the white guy, the white man. And obviously they're not talking about all white people in this movie. You do see white people in this film that team up with them. But what I love about it is that it pokes fun at the reality that there are so many people in this world that at the end of the day just can't stand that there are so many Black people in this country or in this world, as well as the fact that there's so many people in this world that look at the Black culture and are kind of turned off by the fact that it's seeped into all of us. It's seeped into our culture. And I love that. Having grown up in Miami, all of my best friends, majority of my best friends, if you guys have watched some of my vlogs, if you guys have seen any of my pictures on social media, majority of my best friends are Black. It just is what it is. I grew up in a very diverse area down there in Miami. Majority of my closest friends and best friends, people that I call brothers, are Black. And it's just a reality situation. So I've always really connected with humor from movies like this. I've always really connected with the Black culture. And it's just something that I've never really understood when it comes to prejudice Prejudice and all that kind of stuff. I'm really grateful for where I grew up. So this movie for me does a really great job of poking fun at both white people, Hispanic people, black people, and all having fun with it while also making some genuine points and some real social commentary. Again, this is a film that's going to upset some people. This is a film that if they go back and rewatch it today, they may not like it, but it's a film that I think still really holds up. It's a film that has a lot of heart, a lot of charm, has a lot of fun poking fun at these things while also giving a real and genuine message, and it's a film I could not highly recommend more. Now, before I continue my thoughts on this movie, let's go and hear what BLACKTASTIC News had to say about this movie.
And welcome to My Point of View Movie Reviews. Today, I'm hooking up with my homeboy, Anthony Perez, and together we're going to talk about the movie back in 2002, Undercover Brother, starring Eddie Griffin. This movie is a guilty pleasure. This movie is a spoof on blaxploitation movies back in the 70s. This movie is funny as hell and has an all-star cast and will just have you gut-busting, bent over, rolling. It's directed by Malcolm D. Lee. Now, I like Malcolm a lot because he is the cousin of Spike Lee, the director. Now, this movie, man, it has everybody. You got Eddie Griffin, who's a dynamic comedian. You got Dave Chappelle. You got Denise Richards, who was at the time the finest white woman on earth. This movie has it all. It has James Brown. It has my man, Dee Williams. For some of you guys, Lando Calrissian. Oh buddy, don't let me down. You gotta love this cast of this movie. Now this movie opens up, my man driving his Cadillac, he spins out, got his orange soda in his hand. He does, I don't know, about 8 turns, boom, boom, and does not spill that soda. You gotta have that orange soda. This movie, the outfits, the design, everything speaks 70s, and it does it to a T. The lady that plays Sister Girl, man, she is fine as wine. I would drink her bathwater and suck the towel dry. If you haven't seen this movie, the plot is the man is taking over the world. The man meaning the white man. And there is a fictional character as the man who is controlling all the powers that be to take down the black man, the brother. But there's a secret organization called the Brotherhood who's coming together to stop the man. When Sister Girl and Undercover Brother hook up, she takes him to the secret lair where the Brotherhood is. And man, you have to be an authentic black man to get in. This hand comes down, and you gotta shake hands the black way. Lean into it. Boom. Your blackness is confirmed. Doors open up. The world of the Brotherhood. There you meet Conspiracy Brother. You meet Smart Brother. You meet the intern Lance by, I think his name is Neil Patrick Harris is in this movie. Great ensemble cast in this movie. And they learn how to infiltrate and stop the man's plan. And Eddie Griffin, Mr. Undercover Brother, is the man who takes charge. He gets caught up. He falls victim to the black man's kryptonite, a beautiful white woman with nice boobs, blonde hair, fine as hell, Denise Richards, better known as She-Devil in this movie. Some of the best comedy you will ever see. He's dating her, he's turning white, he is now what you call whitewash and a sellout brother. He's going to karaoke, getting on stage with a white woman singing songs like Ebony and Ivory, putting mayonnaise on his sandwiches and eating it. You know, black people are allergic to mayonnaise. This movie has it all. And Dave Chappelle, probably one of his best screen performances ever. He is absolutely hilarious in this movie. Atomic Core. I mean, there's things he does in this movie that are just quotable forever. The soundtrack is slamming. You got Snoop Dogg on the soundtrack. And you have a fight scene between the main antagonist and the protagonist at the end of the movie. They're fighting to Michael Jackson's Beat It. It's a dance-off. Then they fight. The white dude pulls out these blades, chops off a piece of the man's afro, and goes, oops. Gets his ass whooped for that. Never touch a black man's radio, and never touch a black man's fro when he has one. Billy Dee Williams is the general in this movie. He's under the man's power. This man shoots a commercial for fried chicken and is dancing in the video. General's fried chicken and the kicking. This man's in the video dancing and doing his head like a chicken. It is absolutely hilarious. James Brown is in this movie. He goes undercover as James Brown and sneak into the lair. Man, just ensemble cast. Like I said, it has everybody in this movie, and everybody's funny. Every imaginable stupid thing you can think of happens in this movie. There's a fight scene between She-Devil and Sister Girl that ends up in the shower. Yeah, brothers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They even did what I thought they should do. The two other guys are fighting, Undercover Brother and one of the other guys, henchmen of the man, sit down, drinking soda, eating popcorn, watching these ladies fight in the shower. Is absolutely hilarious. This movie has it all. There's things in this movie, the gadgets that the Undercover Brother has. I mean, he has afro picks. He takes them out. I mean, stabbing people in their clothes and stuff. The man is absolutely fantastic. There's a scene, he's in a golfing cart. The thing is going this slow, but they're all like, oh, 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 oh. It has it all. The man loses his coup because he sells out. He's trying to get his coup back. He jumps across his car and slides over and fall over, gets up. Damn, I got to get my coup back. But when he gets his coup back, he does. This man got elevator shoes. He pushes a button, his shoes goes up to the next floor. He has all the gadgets, all the cool things, and all the women love him. How they defeat the white man, the man, She-Devil can't help herself. She falls in love with Undercover Brother. Quotable, once you go black, you can't go back. Now, this movie had a lot of tidbits that you should know. Smart Brother, this guy is the voice of Uncle Rucker from the Boondocks. You know, he has a small role in the movie. You don't think he's that talented? The dude does voiceovers for the Boondocks. There's also a short cartoon called Undercover Brother. He is Undercover Brother in that short cartoon. Great cast. But if you're a Dave Chappelle fan, this movie does it all. This movie does it all with all the characters. Like I said, there's never a dull moment. The pacing, to me, is perfect. The movie's only about an hour and 26 minutes, so it's very short. So it hits all the key points quick, easy, fast, and boom, it is on point. And the action, the special effects, they're mediocre, but so much fun. Eddie Griffin sells this role to a T. He is perfect. He was born to play this role. You can tell he had a lot of influence and intake on this movie because it just smells soulful, black pride, black history, throwback to the 70s. Have you seen Undercover Brother? If you haven't, please check it out. You would love it. But now I'm gonna give the floor back to my man, Anthony Perez. If you don't agree with me, don't be okay. If you do agree with me, we can share love together. It's anything. It's only my point of view. I'm giving from me to you.
Big thanks to BLACKTASTIC News for being here on this video with me. Again, go down to the links below where you can find all of his stuff. You can find his YouTube channel, you can find his website. Super cool guy, again, a really committed guy who shells out a lot of great content. If you're looking for creators who are constantly giving out different and new content, he's definitely somebody you want to go check out. Links are down below. Again, big thanks to you for joining me in this video, my friend. So yeah, Undercover Brother, guys. As far as the negatives that I have for this movie, I would say my biggest thing is that the story is just kind of all over the place, right? But it's kind of forgivable because, again, it's similar to something like Austin Powers, where it's this big, ridiculous story with all these big, ridiculous characters, and it's really about the humor and the things that they're saying more than really what's happening. And there are moments in the film that you feel satisfied. By the end of the film, you feel satisfied by where the story is going. I feel like they could have added a little bit more meat and potatoes in the middle chunk of the film. For an overall level, I feel like it's forgivable that the story isn't as strong as it is because it's really not the main focal point of the movie. Again, this is a film that has so much social commentary and really celebrates black culture more than anything, right? It's not a film that only pokes fun at all sides, but it's a film that at the end of the day is made to celebrate black culture while also recognizing that even though there are people who want to stop the spread of black culture into society today and into the American culture, the reality of the situation is something they really play on in this film. Is it's happened, you know what I mean? In the music and in the style and the different things that we all love. Is just black culture has become a huge part of American culture, and I love that. This film shows a side of the bad guys, you know, that are completely over the top characters, right? But it shows them as these people who, in reality, we do have people like that in this country who, you know, are opposed to it. They don't want the black culture to be seeping into white America. And in reality, even some of those people in this movie, some of those characters, some of the villains will find themselves singing along to songs or dancing in certain ways or using slang. And, you know, it's all used in a very over-the-top comedic way. But at the end of the day, the reality of the situation is just something that's just so real, is that so many cultures have been melded together in this country. And black culture is no different, you know, it's come into this country. The music, the clothes, the slang, so many other things about black culture have just seeped into society, and it's just kind of become a part of American culture. And you can't remove that, right? You can't even remove it for some of the people who really want to remove it from themselves. And I love that about this film. It has a lot of social commentary while also just being a fun, funny ride. Eddie Griffin is so funny in this film as Undercover Brother, especially when he has to go undercover as a white guy at one point. Outside of the humor and the social commentary, which is what the main things I've really been praising about this film, I also really love the costume design. It's a film that just really harkens back to a different era. It's very over the top. It's very funky. It's very soulful. And I really enjoy the way the costume design looks in this film, as well as just the overall set design of the world. There's so much humor, again, that works in this film, so much that celebrates black culture while also poking fun at black culture and poking fun at all cultures, and I love that. You have Billy Dee Williams, Lando Calrissian in this film as a mind-controlled general who sells fried chicken. It's a film that is going to upset some, like I said, but it's a film that's so funny, and it's a film that I know so many people who have seen it love this film. If you've never seen this movie, it may seem like something that's not up your alley, but I do recommend at least watching the trailer and giving it a shot. It's a film that genuinely puts a smile on my face every single time. So yeah, guys, have you seen Undercover Brother? Leave a comment down below. Did you like this movie? Did you not like this movie? Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Definitely appreciate each and every single one of you for stopping by and watching us. Go ahead and follow that link down below to BLACKTASTIC News channel. Give him some love. Let him know that I sent you, and I will see each and every single one of you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.